So thank you very much, Mr. Koike, and thank you for everyone participating in this workshop. So I'm Haruto Shinoda from Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry in Japan. So today, I would like to have a presentation on Japan's policy and strategy in building sector towards carbon neutrality. So this is what I will explain today. So there are three main points, including the Japan's energy efficiency overview. And second is the point and approach toward net zero energy building, so-called ZEP. And third is Japan's policy in building sector towards ZEP. So first of all, I would like to start with a comprehensive overview on energy consumption trend in Japan. So this picture shows the trend in final energy consumption for each sector and the real GDP starting from 1970s. So real GDP has grown 2.6 times since the oil shock in 1970s. While final energy consumption is up 1.2 times. This is because the improvement of energy efficiency. And this slide describes the target on the energy efficiency set in the sixth strategic energy plan, which was formulated in 2021. So the bar on the left and the middle of the figure shows the actual final energy consumption in 2030 and 2019. And the bar on the right shows the target in 2030. So if no energy efficiency measure are taken, assuming the economic growth, energy consumption in 2030 is projected to increase compared to the 2019. And by implementing thorough energy efficiency in each sector, Japan aimed to reduce energy consumption by about 60 million kiloliter in crude oil equivalent from this projection, resulting in lower final energy consumption in 2030 than in 2019. So measure to achieve this target could include regulation, supportive measures such as subsidies, and providing information to encourage the efforts. So for the next, I would like to explain points and approach towards the net zero energy building, so-called ZEB. So firstly, I would explain what is ZEB, which may be very basic, but I think which is very important. So ZEB is a building with considerably reduced annual energy consumption by following three steps. So first, it's saving as much as energy as possible through, for example, high heat insulation, solar shading, and utilizing natural energy, such as daylight utilization and natural ventilation. The second is improving energy efficiency by utilizing high efficient equipment, such as air conditioner, ventilation system, and lighting, and also effective energy management. And the third is creating energy with, for example, PV power generation. And it should be also mentioned that these efforts should be done while maintaining comfortable environment. So these are the points for the realizing ZEB. And as Mr. Hoshino and Mr. Ichinose mentioned, so ZEB are classified into several types according to the amount of energy reduction from the reference primary energy consumption. So this classification allows ZEB to expand their scope and enabling and promoting a practical step-by-step approach towards net zero. So a building with 50 to 75% net reduction from the reference primary energy consumption are defined as ZEB ready, while 75% to 100% as nearly ZEB, and 100% or more as net ZEB. These three are also defined in ISO technical specification formulated in 2021. And in addition to these three, ZEB-oriented was newly added in 2019. This one is for larger buildings with a total building floor area of 10,000 square meter or more. So because a large building are more difficult to reduce their energy consumption, so it was added to expand the scope of ZEB and stimulate for the efforts. So this slide shows the status of the ZEB dissemination in Japan. So the left graph shows the trend in number of ZEBs certification per year, not accumulation, but per year. The overall number of ZEB certification per year is gradually and steadily increasing. And in 2021, the number reached 343, more than 10 times the number 60 year earlier. And the graph on the right side shows the number of non-residential buildings constructed and the number of ZEB among them. Although the number of ZEBs is steadily increased, ZEB account for less than 1% of the total number of non-residential buildings constructed, and further effort are needed to promote ZEB. So for the next, I would like to explain Japan's policy and efforts in building sector towards ZEB. So first is about regulation. So the Building Energy Efficiency Act in Japan requires new non-residential buildings to meet energy efficiency standard depending on its scale. And the left side of this figure shows the regulation for non-residential buildings in effect from April 2021 to the present. The total floor area of 2,000 square meter or more is classified as a large scale, and 300 square meter to 2,000 square meter as medium scale, and less than 300 square meters as small scale. So until now, compliance with the energy efficiency standard has been mandatory for medium and large scale buildings and voluntary for small buildings. And last year, the Building Energy Efficiency Act was amended, and as shown on the right side of the figure, the amended act will make it mandatory for all category, all scale by 2025. And in addition, the energy efficiency standard for large-scale buildings, which are already mandatory to comply with the act, will be raised by 15 to 25% from the current level by 2024. And those for medium size will be raised by 20% by 2026. And what is more, further increase in standard are being considered in order to achieve the sixth strategic energy plan by 2030. So next is about subsidy as a supported measure. So the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI, and the Ministry of Environment, MOE, provide support for ZEB through subsidy according to scale and application. So the blue box on the left side shows the METI's subsidies project, and the right side shows the MOEs. So in general, METI supports large-scale projects such as new building of 10,000 square meter or more, and existing building of 2,000 square meter or more. So what I would like to emphasize is requirement for applying for METI support includes the introduction of an unevaluated technology. So I will explain this in detail in the next slides. And in addition, in both support, there are some mandatory requirements to apply for subsidy project, which is related to system for raising awareness of ZEB. So let me explain a little bit the background and the outline of the unevaluated technology required for METI subsidy. So as I said, the larger buildings are more difficult to achieve ZEB using only existing technology. So we aim to promote ZEB in large-scale building by conducting demonstration of new technology that are expected to have a high potential to reduce energy consumption. So that they can be introduced in the large-scale buildings. So currently, there are 15 items of unevaluated technology, and businesses will select some of them from this list. So the unevaluated technology include, for example, lighting zone control and natural lighting system, and controlling the amount of ventilation air by monitoring CO2. So next would be the regarding the ZEB planner and leading owner registration system, which is one of the efforts regarding information. So ZEB planner registration system was established aiming to raise awareness of the existence of the businesses with expertise of ZEB. And design company, construction company, and consulting company that have ZEB technology and knowledge are registered as ZEB planner. And the activity target and achievement for the dissemination of ZEB are made public. In addition to expand the number of, ZEB building owners, we have established and are operating ZEB leading owner registration system. So under this system, building owner who have actual example of a ZEB or concrete plans for ZEB construction are registered as ZEB leading owner, and their ZEB construction example are made public. And so far, there are more than 400 registered ZEB planners and more than 300 registered ZEB leading owners. So next would be regarding the ZEB design guideline and the ZEB brochure. So in order to promote ZEB, it is important to improve awareness and understanding of a design engineer and the building owner. So from this perspective, ZEB design guideline and brochure have been prepared for each application and published sequentially. So the design guidelines are mainly intended for use by design engineer and show the technology to realize ZEB and the effect expected from the introduction of each technology and the additional cost. And the brochure are intended to improve building owners' awareness and understanding of ZEB, and briefly summarize the benefit of ZEB and how to proceed with building planning and actual example. So these ZEB guideline and brochure are published on the website and have been downloaded by businesses in various industry since 2017. So the last point I will explain is about labeling system related to ZEB. So as part of efforts to raise awareness of ZEB, so ZEB label or ZEB mark has been formulated as shown in the figure. So in addition, measure had been taken so that the ZEB label can be displayed in the Building Energy Conservation Performance Labeling System, so-called BELS, which shows much more information on the performance of the building. So through this labeling system, we aim to brand the ZEB. So this is what we are, the effort of the Japan towards net zero energy buildings. So, and this is a summary of my presentation. So first, I explain what is ZEB, and ZEB is a building with a considerably reduced annual energy consumption by saving as much energy as possible, and improving energy efficiency and creating energy while maintaining comfortable environment. And classifying ZEB as net ZEB, nearly ZEB, and ZEB ready enable and promote practical step-by-step approach towards net zero. And Japan aims to disseminate ZEB through regulation on the building performance and support measures such as subsidies and information such as a planner and leading owner registration system, ZEB design guideline, ZEB brochure, and label system related to ZEB. So this is the Japanese policy and efforts toward net zero building. Yeah. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.